time at 10 a.m. So good morning to you, Noni. Right now we are doing something, we're trying out something for kclau.com. Because typically we will actually put this on KCLau's Money Tips Facebook page. So it's actually live concurrently via Zoom and as well as Facebook. But right now we are actually trying out Zoom, which is here, and as well as YouTube.
So probably YouTube is the better place for people to check out the replay recording. Guess
I
it's
see.
easier place to watch, I guess, if you are just watching video, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, good morning, Noni. Oh, Noni is the one who first respond to us, and how about the others? Okay, maybe a warm-up question.
Warm-up question.
Yeah.
Didn't really think of any, but Casey, do you have any in mind?
You don't know any, just type location.
Type location Okay
Yes,
then
yes.
you just type in where you are
Where you
logging in
guys,
from
yes. Where you guys from? Just type the town you're in. Puchong. Hello, Stephen from
So
Puchong. Hello.
Steven is logging in from Puchong. Welcome.
How about the
Anywhere
others?
else?
Damansara
Damansara
Perdana.
Perdana.
I see. I used to hang out there a lot as well, Damansara. Not say hang out lah. Passing by lah. I went to 1U a lot, 1U. Bandar Utama, right? Putra Heights. Oh,
Putra
okay,
Heights.
okay. New place, right? Got the biggest mall. Also very good place to stay, I guess. Quite new. That is Takchi, right? And then
Woon.
Desa
JB,
Tebrau.
Desaru.
Desa
Desa
Tebrau.
Tebrau.
Oh, I used to hang out in Tebrau as well last time when I was in Skudai. What do I do there? Oh, that's Tebrau ma. That's like Kwan Road, and then you have the there was a cafe, music cafe last time, Mu Chuan. So I sing there quite a while. But that's up to about IKEA, so this is news. This is also new. I've never been already. Okay. Kota Kinabalu. KK. I've just been there for one time only. Love the beaches. So beautiful. I was there for a talk, I think. And that's the only time I've been to Sabah. Nice
Where else have
place.
you not been?
I don't know. Malaysia,
Which part of
I've
Malaysia?
been in Malaysia, I've been to every state. Yeah, even Labuan. Okay, a lot of people cannot claim they have gone to Labuan, but I've been to Labuan also one time. Maybe some of the
Fantastic.
pulau lah, like Pulau Perhentian I've been to, Pulau Redang, but there are some smaller one, like what Lang Tengah, those I've never been.
I
Okay,
see.
is it time? Yeah.
It's time, so let's start the webinar.
Yeah, let's do this. Do you want to resume the recording and you start?
Yes, but I couldn't find the button.
Oh, you couldn't find it? Okay, let me do it. 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our regular 1 hour live webinar session brought to you by kclau.com. So I'm Ian. I will be your host for today. And today we're going to have a wonderful session. And as you can see, typically in our regular 1 hour live webinar session, we will actually invite external speakers to come to our platform to actually share their expertise in different areas of their finances. But today, no external speaker, because our speaker for today is none other than Casey himself. So today, Casey is going to do a case study, which is a very interesting case study. We are going to read it out to you guys later. And after that, we see what we can actually learn from this wonderful case study. Now, before we begin, there are 2 house rules to adhere to when it comes to this webinar session. Number 1, if you'd like to interact with us, just feel free to type in your comments, your remarks in the webinar chat. And if you have any questions along the way, you don't need to wait until the end of the webinar session. You just post your questions in the Q&A box. And I will be moderating the Q&A session right after this webinar presentation. So without further ado, I'm going to just pass the questions. Oh, I'm going to just pass the session to our speaker for today, who is none other than Casey. So Casey,
Yeah,
all
thanks,
yours, man.
Thank you, Ian, for the introduction, and really love to be here. All right, we do this every week, and some of the time we have things to share that we ourselves lah will be the speaker, all right, rather than getting some external speakers. So today, let me share my screen so that you can see. Oh, suddenly cannot find the share screen button. Okay, found it. I'm going to share this Google Chrome. Okay, I guess you're looking at my screen right now. Awesome. Okay.
Yes.
So this case study, right, is quite an amazing one because this family, they have accumulated some wealth, so they have a few million already. So it's like asking me, okay, what can I do better? So I took a look, and then we are going to talk a little bit about that. And disclaimer here. So before we start, a long disclaimer. Basically, today's whatever I talk about, whatever investment, where do you put your money, uh, what kind of investment to buy, things like that. All are just educational purposes, right? So if you want to do all these things on your own, you better do your own due diligence. And today we talk, a lot about financial planning itself. And I'll tell you that I'm not a registered financial planner. I used to be. I used to have the license, but no, I'm no longer providing that service. I'm an educator. I'm just sharing what I know so that you can make your own decision. You can plan your own finances. So if you need those professional help, then of course you can engage one who is licensed and who can charge you money to do this service for you. Okay. And let's move on. So today's we are going to talk about this case study. I'll give you the overview, and then we will point out like how what do you think that contribute to the wealth accumulation where this family got to like about 5 millions of net worth, right? And then the power optimization and what can he do next? Because there are still places that he can optimize. So it depends on individual preference, and we will talk about that as well. And also some action steps for you. Basically, after this session, you kind of like know what you should be working on, right? And then we will do the Q&A later as well. So, is there anybody here first time hearing me on a Zoom session like this, webinar, or have you met me online or anywhere? So, is this your first time? Can you type in 0 in the chat box? Let me know. Is this your first time attending my webinar? Or just hearing me talk, lah, right? So last time, probably I'll be the host. That doesn't count, lah. I'm the host. If I'm the host, it doesn't count. So it is me. No, no one first time. So how many times can you type in the chat box? If you have heard from me a few times already, can just type any number. Or two. Okay, at least 2 times already. Oh, nobody zero. Oh, got Kelton 0. Okay. So when I see a 0, then I will talk a little bit about myself. Okay, thanks for Kelton. Okay. If everybody know me, then I'll skip a few slides. Okay. So I stay in Malaysia for until like 40 over years old before I actually migrated. So I migrated to US for 2.5 years, and then I actually moved during COVID to Taipei. So I'm living in Taipei right now. And this is Ian visiting me early this year. So we took a picture at Yang San. Then in this is the recent trip I did lah. So it's quite fun. I abseiling where I did it in Taiwan. They have many waterfalls here. I just realized that they have so many waterfalls that we can practically do this all day. Like going to different places, and during the summer you can do more than a dozen trips like this. So I think I did three, which is quite fun. Until my wife complains, say, okay, it's dangerous and you should refrain from doing more. Okay. Okay, nice. And then these are the books that I published, all in Malaysia, right? So you can actually find it last time, but no longer available because all out of print, also out already. And the only one that you can buy is this one called Money Smart. It was published 2021, but I still think the content is the best that I've ever put out in a book form. So Money Smart, you can get it. And then also, good news is today, one of you is going to be a lucky winner to get a copy of this. Okay, so in order to participate, just pay attention to what we share about today, and then in the Q&A box, just post your question. So whenever you post a question, that means you're participating. And at the end, Ian is going to help me pick one winner because Ian is going to moderate the question anyway. So if you want to just buy the book directly, you can go to kizla.com/moneysmart. This is the Shopee store of my publisher. So I don't carry the book myself. You basically have to buy from my publisher, or you just go to bookstore. You can find it in Popular and MPH. And this is a Chinese version, exactly the same content translated to Chinese. So let's get to what are we going to share about today. So these emails, I block out the name. So let's call him John. Right, a lot of friends, all of my friends named John. So I guess John is quite a common name. So it can be anybody, right? So Ian, maybe you want to help us read out this email so that we can read it all together.
All right, sure. So it says, Hi, Casey. Enclosed is the Excel net worth and cash flow statements for your kind financial review and feedback. Appreciate if you could let me know how to improve or fix any weaknesses. Actually, my wife and I hope to retire before 50 years old due to stress. I'm not sure if that is possible. If you need any clarification on the information, you may email or Zoom with me, or you can also communicate with me via WhatsApp. Thank you so much, Casey. Best regards, John.
Okay. This is email from John. So it's very polite, very good. And we do some interaction. We have some email back and forth. And basically, I just want to show you some of the uh, what we can learn from John, right? Because John is doing well. He has accumulated some wealth. So let's see how he does it. I don't actually know the details, but we know what is his situation right now. So now get back to this picture. So this picture is you can find it in my book. So basically, if you imagine this box, this cube is your wealth. You want it to be more and more. Basically, there are three components that actually dictate how much wealth you are going to accumulate. So let's start with the basic, which is the saving rate. Saving rate means this is like the most foundation thing to do. Whenever you earn money, you make $1, and then how much can you keep it for yourself, your future self, basically for your retirement fund, things like that. So how much can you not spend? So this is the savings rate. So if you make $1,000 and you can save 30%, that means you save $300. And that is 30% saving rate. Okay. So in order to accumulate wealth, you have to start with the basic first. That means you have to be able to save money. Then you can see your money grow, right? Then when you save your money, you have to let the money itself work so that it can grow. And everybody has different skill set, different knowledge, different risk appetite, different investment portfolio. And everybody's wealth actually grows at a different rate. Right? Just imagine if you have all your money in FD, basically you will be growing your money if you don't spend it, compound that interest. And if FD is giving you 3%, then that's the rate you get, 3%. So some people, they are very, very, very skillful at growing this money. So they can do it at a higher rate. Like for example, uh, the billionaire lah, Warren Buffett, okay? The richest investor still alive right now. So he has been doing this at a long term at the rate of about 20% or 19 to 20%. Or it was higher when he has less wealth, but the rate was lower when he has too much money because you run out of things to buy, right? Sometimes. So he is doing like 20% a year. So if you can, so that's a, so this is the reference for you, right? The higher the rate you can do, the more likely you are going to be very, very wealthy, right? But to be very wealthy, to let the wealth to compound, it actually take another element is time. So how long are you able to let the money compound? So if you know all this knowledge and you started young, you started 18 years old, 20 years old, right? Then you have a long runway. You can compound your wealth for 50 years, 60 years, right? So if you are already like closing retirement, right? Closing retirement age, then at 50, 60 years old, you probably can compound another 20 years, 20 to 30 years max. So for those who are still young, right? Anybody here less than 30 years old? Can you type me in the chat box? Less than 30 years old. So if you're less than 30 years old, type me in the chat box. Oh, nobody. I also cannot type. Ian also cannot. Ian also over
Can
30 already. Oh,
cannot
nobody
lah.
under 30 here. Oh, really? Wow, that means a lot of you actually grow with me, right? So probably you have heard me when I was in the 20s, when I was writing this blog about like 30 years old. And now I'm so almost 50 already. So these are the three elements, right, that actually grow a wealth. So you have to just maximize these three. Do these three well, then I would say that getting rich is unavoidable. You will be rich, okay? So let's look at what John already has, right? So let's look at John. So this is John's thanks Naga for your response. Wow, 50 plus already. Okay, good, good, good. So probably you are maybe in the same situation as John here. So let's look at his spreadsheet where he share. So the first one is the cash flow. That means how much he make and then how much he spent. So let's look at it. This is his own. He said after minus EPF tax and so this is net already 17,000 a month, right? And then he has other income because his EPF is more than 1 million. So he can actually has I don't know, maybe he withdraw from his EPF. And then he has full flexi property rebate, cash flow credit card, and rental property. So all of this is another, I would say this is passive income, 12,000. So altogether, every month he's getting 30,000. Okay. So let's see how much he spent, right? This is him only. So that's another part of his wife as well. You can see he spent what? 1,000 on car. 1,000 on car. Insurance, 1,008. Property maintenance, 300. Mortgage, 2,000. Mortgage 4,000. Property 3 maintenance, 50. Unify handphone, 151. And then you have the variables where you buy food, your petrol and toll. Oh, petrol and toll, 74 only. Wow. Miscellaneous spending. Parents, 600. Additional learning, 500. Daycare and school. So he has a child, I think around 9 years old. So total he spent is 3,009 discretionary. This is variable. So 4,000 plus this about 10,000. So in total he spent about less than 14,000 every month. But he has got active income, 17,000 net, plus the passive income, which is together 30,000. Right? So everybody seeing here, can you type in your comment, right? What is the first thing that caught your eyes? This.
Mm. Yeah, just type in the chat box. Let me know what exactly you have witnessed.
Okay. Comes
So
in already.
Ivan Tay says positive cash flow.
Mm.
Okay. Uh, so which means high savings rate lah. And then
Yep.
Chuan Wei says mortgage number 3. Or because it seems that that's the highest lah. Okay.
Okay. This is a big item. Okay.
Big item over here. Mortgage 3. And then Naga Irma says mortgage. Noni says positive cash flow. Stephen Yao says smart spender. And then we have petrol. Hmm? Yeah,
Mm.
petrol.
Petrol very
So
low, right? 74.
24. Wow.
Maybe the company subsidized. I don't know. Okay. Probably. Or
So
he work
most
from
people
home,
actually,
maybe.
most people say
Using EV. Okay. Good, good, good. Probably you're right.
uh so Ivan says more than 50% of his income goes into savings. Uh that sort of thing. Uh, okay, so more or less most people are looking into that.
Okay. So
Mm.
generally, I think there's a comment Lok Wing Take say, okay, frugal
Frugal
lifestyle, which
lifestyle.
is I totally agree lah. You see how much he spent on car, right?
Mm.
Just 1,000. So I don't know, 1,000 a month, can you get an EV? Probably a very small EV, maybe.
No, I
So
think my V,
my
not EV.
not EV, let's
Ah,
look at the wife side. Okay, so here's the wife side. So wife also not bad. So still making close to 10,000, right? So this is like net 8,000. That means the gross about like 10,000. So got also other income, rental property too, stock dividend, ASM, insurance dividend. So like 12,000 a month. And the wife is paying the mortgage too. So they have 3 properties. And then maintenance, property one, utility. So utility is paid by wife. Assessment fee, okay, and then car too. Oh, looks like no installment already, right? It's like fully paid
mm,
already. And then food, petrol. Oh, also very not much. Parents 700, school pocket money. So it's like the wife spending 4,000. Oof. So you can see the total here. The grand
mm-hmm,
total income 42,000. Grand total
mm-hmm,
expense 17,000. So the total cash flow 25,000.
mm-hmm.
So usually when I look at a cash flow statement like this, the most important ratio I like to know is which is the most important. So can you guys guess what is the most important ratio I want to look at? You type in the chat box, right? Hmm. Think a little bit, right? Usually I look at cash flow statement, I will just calculate on my head lah. Wow, what is the ratio for that?
Noni says debt to income ratio. So that's her
Mm,
comment.
okay.
Anyone else?
Mm. Anyone else?
So debt to income ratio is also a good ratio, can also be calculated. Oimeng says only one source of income.
Mm.
Uh, okay, so fair comment, fair comment.
Okay.
Savings to income
Ah,
ratio.
yes, it comes in. Okay, so this is the ratio I look at, correct? So that's called the saving ratio. I call it saving ratio. Okay, saving ratio. So we can type the saving rate. We can calculate the saving rate. So saving basically we use the total that is not spent, no, that you can save and and keep investing, things like that. So this is the money they can save. It's
Mm.
25,000 divided by the total income 42,000. So it's close to 60% saving rate. Oh, every 10,000 you make, they can save 6,000. Oh, so this is a extremely high saving rate. So I'll say, wow, doing a good job, right? Very well.
Mm.
And then we can also calculate the passive income ratio. So he actually track his passive income, right? All the money that comes in, the cash flow that comes in from his asset investment. So it's close to I add it up together lah. So this 12,000 plus this 4,000. So this is 16,000. So you can divide it by 42,000, then you get this passive income ratio,
Mm.
which is 40%. 40 or
Mm.
percent of the total income. So
Mm.
60% is active, 40% is passive.
Mm.
Okay. So can he retire or not, right? So when I look at this one, ayo, looks like very easy can retire already. Okay. Because I haven't looked at the net worth, yes. So let's look at the net worth. So here's the net worth. So you tell me, okay, how much he has. Take a look. You have cash, 260,000. You have the share investment about 1 million. Insurance investment about 130,000.
Mm.
EPF 3 million. And he has three properties, right? One is 600,000, another one 500,000, and one 900,000. And then you have two cars. Then the two cars value only 66,000.
Mm.
Ah, see? ASM, SSPN 100 over 1,000. PRS another 80,000. And then he has some other speculative asset lah, this one. The crypto lah, or the other things lah, jewelry, things like that. Not much, 44,000, right? So total, all the assets, 6.8 million. And then we look at the mortgage, the loan he has. So the loan he has is only the mortgages. He has all three property also have mortgages. 400,000, 370,000. This one 800,000. This is the latest property that they bought, right? So I would say probably they move into property 3 already.
Mm.
So property 3 probably is the property they stay. And maybe they used to stay in property 1 and property 2. Maybe. And then they move to property 3. So this is property 3. And then car loan only 1.
Mm.
Original 98,000. So this is like close to 100 over 1,000 car. And then the car loan is paid down already. So they didn't change car. Probably this car has been around for 4-5 years already. Okay. And then car 2 fully paid. So the total liability 1.6 million. Then you can use this figure 6.8 million minus 1.6 million liability. So this is all the things you have minus all the things you owe people. Then you get the net worth, which is 5.25 million, right?
Mm.
So he's currently 42 years old, wife 43, and then one kid 9 years old. Okay. So looking at the net worth statement here, what do you think? What are the things that caught your eyes? Can you type in the chat box? We do some interaction. So because I like to ask questions so that you think for yourself as well. You
Well,
can,
first thing is EPF. I guess it's impressive to
oh,
people. It's, it,
3
it's
million.
the same for Go, Bob, Melvin, Noni. So all of them says EPF. Wow.
Hmm. Melvin said he must have topped up annually. I guess so, because I look at his income level, and then at age 42, to get to 3 million, probably if you go through just the normal route where your employer contribute and you contribute the minimum required, then probably will not get 3 million yet lah, at 42.
Mm.
Looking at his income level, unless unless when he's 20 over years old, he's already making 5 figures income lah, right?
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, lor. I also wonder how it happened lah.
Hmm.
Mm.
I don't know why Stephen said the wife EPF high. I didn't see the information. I didn't see any information talking about that.
So the EPF is actually husband and wife lah, gabong lah,
Hmm. This is gabong lah. This is all gabong really.
or
This
gabong
all
then
combined together.
possibly. Okay.
Hmm.
Mm,
Oh, he said his EPF got 1 million meh? Or is just now here. Oh, probably, right? No lah.
mm,
I think I would say that he's referring to that when your EPF is more than 1 million, actually you can
mm,
withdraw all the dividends every year.
mm. Yes.
Ah, so when it is over 1 million, you can I think
Mm,
that's the flexibility they give lah for people who already have more than 1 million in EPF. So every time you
mm,
get a dividend, you actually can withdraw it out. You don't have to wait until you are 55.
okay.
Okay, fair, right? Okay.
Uh,
So when I looking at this, okay, he said he's still worried, You look at his email. He said, actually, my wife and I hope to retire before 50 years old due to stress and not sure if it is possible. So they are 42, 43 right now. And then they
mm,
spend only how much they spend? They don't spend much.
mm,
Yeah, they don't spend much. They spend 17,000 only.
mm,
So you just look at EPF alone, 3
mm.
million. 3 million
Uh-huh.
times, let's say, 5% is what EPF give you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Mm,
155,000.
mm-hmm.
So this is like cover about 9 months of their expense already every year, right?
Mm,
Hmm. So, and he's not talking about retiring now. He's talking about retiring another 7, 8 years. I would say no issue lah. We don't have to put in the numbers. Also, we know that's no issue. They can actually retire early, no problem at all, right? So that's no issue.
mm,
So then, what are we gonna talk about in this session? Nothing to talk about. Okay, just kidding. Of course, we have something to give you, right? So, John, I think John is on this session as well. So we try to give him some pointer. What can you still maximize on optimize, right?
mm,
Maybe he's worried about university expenses. Uh, University, yes, yes and no lah. I think studying in Malaysia is not expensive. Actually, studying in Malaysia is not expensive. It's okay. But if you're going overseas, that is a lot of money. Yes, I will agree with that. Like Steven
mm,
said, if kid go overseas study 1.5 million for degree alone, which is true, which is how much my son is spending right now. So crazy, right? Uh, a lot of money, right? Oh, especially you go to US to study, wow, so expensive. And uh, and he only have one child, so still not too much worry. He can still work to 50 years old, and then he just keep on doing at this. Where when we come back, we look at this profile. You see, he is very good at doing this saving rate. You see, you can see my mouse point, right?
mm,
My mouse
mm,
pointer, can you see? Okay. So saving rate, he's doing very well. He can save 60%. So that's no issue in accumulating wealth. So even if his son's going to spend like 2 million for study, so he from now until 50 years old, I can say that he can easily get another 2 millions. No issue. Right? Because he has already has a base to start with. So how to do better, right? So we were looking at, okay, time you cannot control. Now you're 42, 43. But another thing you can optimize is actually return rate. Saving rate, I would say that you are already frugal. I don't really recommend to do it even more extreme. So it's already quite extreme. Okay. Uh, Imagine you guys are, if your household is making 40,000, what kind of car is you driving? I think a
Mm.
lot of people is going to drive a Continental car, right? You're going to drive a BM, a Mercedes, or whatever, a Volvo, or whatever, right? So and it's still okay. You drive a Mercedes also okay because you're making that for net income. But this family is not. John's family don't. So they still save very aggressively. So probably this is their value now. This is how they see the this is their character. I would say this is their character. They are now, even they have this money, they still ask for my advice, right? It's like, okay, what can I do better, right? I'm still worried. It's so the work is so stressful, and I really want to retire early. Right? Can I do that or not? So they so he is. I would say he is a very conservative person, right? The family lah, very conservative, and and they are a very good team. Family, husband and wife, they are together. They are like, it's not like the husband already save a lot and then wife don't need to save. Wife can spend all the 8,000 she makes, but she didn't do that as well. So she doesn't do that. So they work on the family budget as a team. So which is very good. And what else can you do better? So this is the thing I will say. What else can you do better is actually the return rate. So we will go to another spreadsheet which I clone from their net worth, and then we are going to calculate the return on the net worth. That means I want to know, now you have this money, but how fast your money is growing. This is the thing I want to know. Then
Mm.
we can look into details, like how is it the return rate. So there's a technical term, we call it return on your net worth. It's more like a return on equity for a business lah. So on personal level, we call that net worth. You don't call that equity. So the right term, I guess, is return on net worth. Okay. So what is that? Is that we just now we calculate the net worth is 5.3 million. So this 5.3 million, how fast are you growing it? Right? What is the return rate for this total asset? So that's the thing we calculate. So how to calculate that? We try to calculate every asset, how much the money it is making. So I'm going to delete all this. How much money it is making for all this asset. And
Mm.
then how much is it costing you for all the loan you have. So this information he also gave me already, right? The interest rate 4.2%. So if we own mortgage, this is 400,000. Every year he's going to pay 17,000 on interest for this. Mortgage 2 is 15,000. So the latest one, mortgage 3, is 32,000 a year, which he has to pay. Right? And then
Mm.
car loan, this one, kacang lah, kacang putih lah,
Mm.
and almost done already lah. And then we come back here. So let's look at how much all these assets are making for him. So let's put a rate for that. So of course you have to estimate. And or you can check back your own records, how well you are doing. So like for John, I will suggest that you get back. So like for cash, I can probably think maybe 3%, right? If it is FD. Then you can use this amount, you times the return, then you get the total return you get for this asset class. And for stocks, I don't know how is John's track record, right? Let's
Mm.
say we put 10%. Okay. And insurance investment. Insurance investment normally, after you net all the insurance charges, policy fees, all that thing, it is not easy to get higher return than unit trust, right? Even
Mm.
unit trust also is not really performing very well. You have to be very extremely lucky to get in the right timing and buying the right fund. So probably we'll just put 5%.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh, still got 5%.
Or
Okay.
maybe 4%, whatever, right? You can check back your statement. Depends on what policy you buy, right? Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So whatever it is, right? So you guys know how much is actually earning for you. Like KK Chong said 1.5% only. Oh, okay. So if you want to more accurate way to look at this, right? You look at the market value, you don't look at the premium you pay. So you can check back all your policy. How much is the cash value if you're going to surrender all this policy? How much the money is? So if this is amount come to 130,000, and then we'll look at what is the policy itself, lor. So if it is an investment policy, and then where is the money invested, lor? So is it invested in growth fund or is it invested in fixed income fund? Then the fund itself has a track record. Then you can check back the track record, and then you put a rate here, lah. Okay, fair. So if this is cash value, I don't think it will be 1.5% lah. At least 3-4%. Or even traditional policy also will have like 3-4%. EPF. EPF, most of us know lah. 5.5 maybe. Okay. And then property. Property one. This one I also don't know because he didn't break down the rental, right? And then other than the rental yield itself, the property also appreciate. So there are two types of return you get here. So it could be a capital gain that is about the same as inflation. So maybe 3-4% plus another rental yield. So this rental yield can calculate. Right? You can calculate. You probably don't take the full 12 months if you're paying agent or things like that. So of course, every property will be different. So I would say maybe plus two together. That means, let's say 4% inflation, which is the capital gain of the property due to inflation, plus another rental yield. If it is 3 or 4%, then that will be like 7 or 8% you can get from a property. Oh, Pang is like, reverse engineering, right? Okay, so then I will go to that. So let's say I put 7% here, huh? So the two property got rental, 7% plus 7%. And the third property is not rented out. Right? The third property is not rented out. So if not rented out, we cannot count the rental yield. So we probably can count the appreciation alone. So if it is 3-4%, then you put 3-4% here. Okay. And then car, we'll put 0 lah, no return. ASM and SSPN, probably 4%. PRS, you can also check the statement, see how much they are performing. Let's say 7%. And then this one depends. So let's say just if it is beating inflation, maybe 5-6% or more. I don't know. Okay. Just you can roughly estimate. So this is how you do it. If it is John, I were you, I will do this. Right? Based on all your track record, you put a figure, estimation as accurate as you can, and then you calculate how much you are getting from all this asset. So for this 6.9 million asset, it could probably fetch about 400,000 a year. And then you minus the 66,000 financing costs. So you got your net return, which is 413,000 minus 66,000. Then you get 347,000 a year. So you use this figure, you divide it by the net worth. That is called the return on net worth, which is 6.6%, which is this figure divided by this figure. Then you got 6.6%. That also means if you come back to the diagram here, very simple. All your money, it is growing at the rate of 6.6%. Okay. So if John is asking, okay, how do you optimize, right? How do you optimize this? So the actually the ultimate goal is that how do I push this rate higher? Correct? How do I get 7%? How do I get 8%? And I'll tell you what, the the richest investor on earth, do you still remember I said Warren Buffett, right? What is the rate he's getting? His
Mm.
RNW,
Mm.
19 to 20, right?
Mm.
Uh, uh. Over his career lah, over his lifetime lah, right? 20%.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So if you are doing 6.6%, you are not bad, right? But can you do better? Of course you can. There are historical proof that people can do it.
Mm.
Mm. Okay, so we can look at the asset. John's has 6.7 million here. So it's mostly in EPF. You can see 46% of it is in EPF. And then they
Mm.
have the second chunk is actually properties. So for him, he has done well in income, making good money.
Mm-hmm.
He has done well in controlling his expenses. So these are
Mm-hmm.
like basic. Now, these two, which you can actually still optimize, right? How can you make optimize your assets? How can you optimize your liabilities?
Mm.
Right. Another diagram I want to show you is that when you have diverse asset like that, right? You have a lot in EPF and you have some in here, some there, some here, some there. So this is, I would say, do you think this is diversified? This is actually quite conservative. To me, I would say this is actually quite conservative, isn't it? Do you agree or not?
Mm.
Ian, do you agree or not? It's quite conservative, right? A lot of it in EPF, in your retirement fund. And
Mm.
then quite liquid also. Illiquid asset, not just 30 over percent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he also invests in stocks. Bursa also overseas. So it's quite a diversified portfolio. And when we look at diversified portfolio, I would say a lot of middle class people, normal people, really they do diversification. And which is I would say diversification is really a step that you can do to lower your risk, especially if you really don't have very good investment skill. So John is doing well, diversify. So this is middle class. And then if you you can invest better, you have the knowledge, you have the skill, you can do more concentration.
Mm.
Ah, so you can move yourself to more concentration. And usually when you move yourself to more concentration, it will lead to two results only. Either you're going to become rich or you're going to become poor. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, become poor means you bet on certain asset and it doesn't turn out well, then you become poor. You could be lose everything.
Mm.
Uh, like for example, there's a billionaire called Bill Huang, right? So he used a lot of margin, buy a lot of tech stock, and then he's a billionaire. He's already a billionaire. But due to that concentration of investing in tech stock and then borrow a lot of money to do that, during the COVID, his fund actually go bankrupt. So also it dragged himself down all the way and still have to serve jail time because uh, there are things that is illegal that he has done. So that make him poor. But also a lot of success story that become very rich, right? You look at the Forbes top 100 wealthiest people on earth. They are all concentration, high concentration. A lot of them actually concentrate on their business, right? Their own business actually make them rich. And like Buffett, I would say you can say diversification, but he also concentrated all investing in mainly stocks, right? Mainly businesses. So this is the power of optimization. So when you want to move yourself from diversification to concentration, make sure you have the knowledge to do that so that you end up here, right? End up going, I want to draw something. Make sure you end up going here. You don't go here, right? So if you don't have confidence, you don't have the skill, you don't have the knowledge, don't move to here, right? So what I want to convey here is that for John, John, if you're listening, if you want to move here, I would say you want to move here, right? You want to move to the rich. And then make sure you have that knowledge so that when you do your asset allocation, you can get the result you want. For example, I'll just quickly go through the spreadsheet here. How you can actually maximize is quite simple. It's very simple. You look at the rate of return, where you can get the best. You look at the list here. Where is the place you can do best? So for example, let's say you can do well in stocks. Now you can do 10%. Then I was like thinking, if you can do 10%, why do you still have so much money in this? 5.5. Right? If you can, if you can do 10%. If you can do 10% here, then you should move most of our money over here. So let's say we minus 2 million here. We just wait. We have to add another zero. And then here you plus 2 million. You do stock investing. Then you can see your rate become 8.3% already. So capital allocation is like that. That means you put your money where you know best that it can give you the best return. So I would say if you imagine when Buffett is 20 years old, right? And he is normal people doing all the diversification like this. Do you think he will be a billionaire right now? I think very hard. I don't think you will never ever heard of Warren Buffett. Okay. So this is the case. Right? So of course there are still many way to optimize here. And I don't think he's a property investor. Right? If property investor, probably you will be more aggressive, you have more properties. So property investment also not bad because you can borrow money. You can borrow money at 4%, 5%, right? You see, now latest one, less than 4%. But if that property can get you a rental yield of 3, 4%, and then it can also give you a capital growth of another 3, 4%, then you can easily get 7%, 6, 7% from a property. And then you don't use your own money to buy. Of course, that's leverage. Then if you do this, then your RONW will increase as well. Okay. So I guess that is the conclusion for this. So before we get to Q&A, right, just quickly go through here. We have Money Tips ebook series on my website, and we do weekly webinars like this and a lot of articles Ian posted on my blog as well. And we actually have a few online personal finance courses that can help you learn in a more structured way and you get result faster. So these are the places you can actually follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, YouTube, courses, and also the WhatsApp channel as well. And this is the free ebook you can actually download. Just go to this page if you want the English version, and if you want the Chinese version, you go to this page. And today we are going to give away one book to one lucky winner who post question in the Q&A box. So guys, if you have a question right now, please post it in the Q&A box so that you can participate, right? And this is the free ebook challenge, which is this is the URL, if you can remember it. So let's do the Q&A.
Right, it's time for Q&A. But I guess more a lot of us are actually more interested to actually participate in how we can actually optimize John's return on net worth lah. All right. But I believe that there are many comments that are quite valid and they have been posted in a webinar chat lah. So I'm going to just look through some and then we see what we can actually learn from it lah.
Yes.
All right. And there's actually one very unique comment, which I also tend to agree, but it's not so much about return on net worth lah. All
Mm,
right. It's because so the comment is actually on insurance lah. So this one is by Sulin.
mm,
Uh, so technically, if you look back at the slide, you look back at the spreadsheet, right? He's earning like so much, having so
yeah.
much in net worth.
Mm,
So but the amount of money he spent on insurance is 1,008 lah. Uh, so coming from a former insurance agent yourself, Casey and myself lah. So we kind of like know that when you buy a insurance that is costing, let's say, 1,008, we can also imagine what exactly is the coverage like lah. So, but of course we don't have the access to his policy. So the question is this, could it be sufficient or could estate planning, insurance planning help? Is this a weakness and is this something to be rectified?
of course, we don't know the details of the policy he bought, right? So this could be a high premium, low coverage policy, might be an
Mm,
endowment, might be saving plan, or it could be a very high coverage,
mm-hmm,
low premium policy. If that is the case, that means he bought a lot of insurance, maybe millions and
mm,
millions, right? So if you buy
mm,
millions and millions, then the premium can come up to be like this as well.
mm,
Mm. So I guess how much should you spend on insurance? I would say if you want to spend money on insurance, think of it as just for protection's sake, right? Don't think
mm,
of it as a place that you can actually help you accumulate wealth. It can help a
mm,
bit, but there are better ways to do that.
mm,
There are better ways to do that. So and then if it is for protection alone, then I will have a benchmark where I'll look at, we spend as the least possible lah, the least possible to get the adequate coverage you need. Mm. Like sometimes when a person get wealthier,
mm,
uh, in reality, you don't really need too much coverage, right? Because you can self-insure, right? That means you can also save the policy money lah, the premium lah. Of course, in
mm,
reality, it actually it should be like this. But of course, insurance agent will not tell you this because they will help you to create wealth, right? They'll say that when you're worth more, of course, you want to buy more, right? So buying the insurance itself, you have to have your purpose of buying. Like for example, for John, his child is only 9 years old, so he probably want to
mm,
cover husband and wife's life insurance more, cover
mm,
into millions that can make sure that his child will have very good education, it will be provided for, and then probably you need to do a private trust because if both parents are not around, if you go to vacation or whatever and then you don't come back, then who is going to take care of your child, the guardian, everything? So will writing also important. And then how do you provide for the guardian? How much money you want to pay them? And how much money you want your son to spend every year? And then how much money are you going to give him when he go to study overseas? And then how much are you going to leave for him when he come out? And do you want him to start a business or things like that? So that those all can be arranged in a private trust.
mm.
Mm. So the benchmark here, of course, the insurance premium, I would say don't spend more than 5% of your income lah. If you spend more than that to buy coverage, usually you are buying the wrong policy.
Mm. Okay, so question by Ken Lun. So he says, since he has a child, something I see missing is in his spreadsheet is legacy and estate planning. What would you suggest? So that we have actually covered lah. So
Yeah, we
Casey
actually covered.
has
Yes.
done this question. Okay, so Gantek would like to know stock investing overseas like US or locally will be more feasible for better returns.
Personally, I prefer overseas. Now I also invest basically more than 90% are overseas already.
Mm,
For stocks, I prefer overseas. Why? Why? I think the main reason is when we invest in stocks, we are not buying paper. We are not buying tickers. Can anybody tell us what are we buying actually when we buy stocks? What are you actually buying? Can you type in the chat box? Let me know.
mm,
See who got it right. Okay. Nice. A lot of you got it right. So we are buying ownership in a company. We are buying business. So worldwide, we have so many companies, sorry to say that are better than Malaysia version. Right? For example, if you want to buy banks, are there overseas banks that have better presence and grow better than the Malaysian version banks? We can easily think of, right? Oh, you go to Singapore, there are few international banks that perform much better than Malaysia version banks, right? Okay. So of course I'm not investing a lot in banks. Ian does. Okay. And for other types of companies, there are so many good names, good brands that we cannot have access in Malaysia.
mm,
Just for example, just the Magnificent Seven alone, right? You look at
mhm,
Google, you look at
mm,
Apple, and you have like what Nvidia.
mm,
So we don't have those kind of business in Malaysia at all. So for me, I invest a lot in overseas.
mm,
Yep.
mm. Actually, talking about, because another question will be on rate of return and leverage. So I'm actually assessing John lah, all right,
Mm.
from what you have just shared. So beyond the numbers,
Yep.
because the reason why he can achieve such a high savings rate
Yep.
is also because his income is high. But it also depends on how he generate his income, which perhaps he didn't explain whether is he running a business or uh is he employed. But nevertheless, regardless
Mm.
how he make his income, he is stressed lah. So
Yeah.
he's
That's what
stressed,
he said
right?
lah. He say he's stressful. Okay.
So one possibility that I see that if let's say he doesn't want to add mental stress lah. All right. He doesn't want to add mental stress on top of his employment or business, right? That's why he actually dump a lot of money into EPF.
Mm.
It's also it gets him to where he is today. Although yes, the return rate is 5%, 6%, but hey, it the return is actually probably
Quite
also
certain,
lah,
right?
all right.
Quite certain, right?
There's
Mm.
some element of certainty,
And
uh,
stable.
no headache, no management,
You know
no
he will never
mental.
go negative, right?
Mm, uh, but it gets to a point where he hits 3 million, 3
Mm.
million.
Mm.
Mm. So for him, now there's two routes two
Mm.
routes for him, uh, excluding his stock investment because we do not know how he invests.
Yes.
One hand is he can just continue doing whatever he's doing,
Yes.
just work his way. Stress also, you tahan for another 8 more years because you say that you hope to retire before 50, so you
Mm.
tahan a few more years. repeat whatever you are doing, get the 5.5% from the EPF, and somehow rather, instead of 6 million, about seven already, right?
Mm,
Try to boost it up to 10 million. But
mm,
you work hard.
yep.
Uh, so that's one route. Or the other route is uh, in terms of his active income, he can choose to slow down, which means to say maybe he can reduce it progressively instead of going on 100% mode. But this one, if you are running a business, then you can decide lah. It's like, let's say you're operating at 100% already. Now you kind of like reduce it to 80% lah. Don't like get so too many clients lah. Just reduce it. Use the time to actually somehow learn how to do portfolio allocation, investment skills, and all this kind of stuff to actually prepare for your future lah. Because if you're going to retire at 50, right, your new job is not so much about physical work, but it's actually more mental work on how do you actually manage your own wealth lah and your own portfolio. So I can see these are the two routes lah. Casey, what do you think?
I definitely agree with that. So for John, you are doing well. So you can keep on doing whatever you want. Doing whatever you have been doing, then you will get the result. So no issue. We look at the numbers. You can definitely retire at age 50. So, but do you want a an alternative route, like Ian said, right? You slow
Mm,
down on your work. So that means you become less stressful. Okay.
mm,
That's the purpose. You slow down on your work, less stressful, or you just quit it. And then you concentrate on, that means you move yourself from that diagram that I showed just now, right? From
mm,
conservative middle class, now you want to move to the more concentration and the
mm,
rich. So that takes time, that takes knowledge, that takes skill, takes experience.
mm.
So I was think 40 over years old is still a good timing for you to transition as well. You still have a long runway for doing investment.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's also psychologically also because you're 42, I suppose you are hitting your prime like it's like palm oil estate. You are like very the perhaps he's actually hitting his prime 25,000 in active income per month.
Mm, mm,
So but he's stressed lah. But who knows? He's 25 here. His 25,000 this year will be 30,000 next year. And it could be 35,
mm,
50. But he'll be
mm.
operating in that 100% energy mode lah.
Yep.
All right. So when you can do that kind of active income, your EPF will also definitely rise. Then do you really need to optimize on your investments? Because your time, energy, and your okay lah, your sanity all 100% all lump into your job already, right?
There are pro and cons when you look at this. So let's talk about extreme example. Extreme example is like athlete, Athlete, let's say
Uh-huh.
you got into MBA and then you cannot expect you to like LeBron James, he already play until 40 years old already, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's making 50, 60 million a year, right?
Mm.
So, but you cannot expect LeBron James to still play basketball at 80 years old and still get paid 50 million, right?
Mm.
So that is this is extreme case where when you actively work for money, there is a time you have to cut off.
Mm.
It will come, right? So and then the other route, which is actually you increase your knowledge and then you let your money to work better. That
Mm-hmm.
means whatever you have, whatever money you have, you just work them harder. Instead of you work harder, you're getting smarter and you work your money harder. Then
Mm.
if you can work your money harder, then you don't need your limbs, you just need your brain. So you can still perform very well, even you're 80 years old, 90 years old. So the payoff, when I see here, the payoff is that ah, isn't it the faster you do the transition, isn't it better for your financial health, even your physical health?
Actually, that is actually the more painful question to ask, if you ask me lah. Because I don't think whether to retire or not it's not really a question. It's not a financial question. It's actually for him, for
Yeah.
this guy, it's actually more like a psychological question, whether he want to pull the plug or not, because he's making good money, really, really good money in this country, right?
Yeah.
So whether when exactly is the right time to pull the plug, or is it
Yeah.
even right to pull the plug?
Uh.
Because although he's stressful, right, but every month he gets 25,000. Okay, what song
and
also like also
and
like 北派 lah.
I would say the transition also depends on people's character, lah, right? So like for me, I wouldn't like just handbrake and then stop working and then just do the other thing, right? That's not
Mhm.
me. I do slow transition, gradual. I would say, okay,
Mm,
I'll work less, and then I'll do more on the other side, which is to increase my investment knowledge, to invest better. So
mm,
so it's more like a balance, and then when you get the confidence on your investment side or asset allocation side, then probably you can really think of like, okay, maybe I don't work also doesn't matter already. Because my money can make passive income 500,000 for me every year. Then why I still work 10 hours a day just to make 30,000, right? A month. So the
mm,
payoff doesn't match already. So it's like gradual. So but some people, I would say not everyone is like me. Some people they really want to like tarik handbrake because it's so stressful. So it's actually up to John, whatever he decide, right? Whatever I would say lah, I will imagine, I will assume, because he's very conservative, then he worry on the long term side, right? So I would say he probably is a gradual side, gradual. He will do it this like slowly, gradually. That means he's not talking about retirement at age 42, 43. He's talking about retirement age at 50. So I guess he will still work on until 50 years old. But during these 7, 8 years, what
mm,
is the best course of direction for you is actually, of course, you can learn up your investment skill, become a better investor. He's doing
mm,
already. He has 1 million in stocks. He's not like investing not much, also 1 million.
mm.
But are you comfortable to do more, right? So this is the question.
Yeah, that's
Mm,
also the question. So I
mm,
guess if let's say John has an option to actually find another employment, or find another, or slow down on his business, not so that he can, let's say there's a choice for him to earn initially, now he's getting 25. Now let's
mm,
say he slow down, which means not totally stop, like become zero, but 25 become 20 lah.
mm,
All right, 25 but become 20, but then his working hours have dropped.
mm.
And
Yep.
then he has this X amount of time that he can spend on a few things. Either he go and build up his improve or sharpen his investment skill. That's one way. Or he spend more time with his kid, or he
Mm,
spend time in the gym, or
yep.
spend time with creating more memories for his family.
Yes.
Maybe he become a happier person. Who knows? I don't know.
Yes.
Uh, so these are the small routes. I think the options I think is in his hand lah.
Yep.
But with that, we have uh more questions lah, more and more
Okay.
questions coming in. So let's just get to them. Adeline would like to know, for concentration of investment portfolio to sustain reasonable return for retirement planning, should it be in equities and in overseas equities like in US, Singapore? But stock investing can be volatile. Are there any alternatives?
Wow. This come back to basic investment. So if you- if you're not comfortable on concentration, then diversification is your answer. That means
Mm,
if you cannot be sure that a certain stocks or certain company is going to perform well, then that means you have to diversify. Then in your
mm,
case, if you're asking this question, I would say for you, you are safe to just do diversification. like John, put some EPF, some in property, some in overseas stocks, some in local stocks, some let other people manage, buy some ETF, buy some unit trust, whatever it is, then all diversify. Then I think this is the answer for you. But you want specific, if specific is not like a suitable asset allocation, because all this, you engage a financial planner. They can help you invest, but how do they invest for you? For financial planner is they put in different ETF and unit trusts. Right? When they do this, they also charge you fees, so there are loss there. And if you are just doing plainly for diversification sake, you can easily DIY it, I would say, right?
Mm. Actually, also in a way lah, it also depends on what kind of financial advisor John is actually gonna employ lah. Because John himself is already rich lah.
Uh,
So he also like needs to get, don't know, maybe a top-notch, higher, better quality advisor lah, in order to assist him in that area.
mm,
Mm. Or something come to my mind lah. It says three million in EPF, right?
mm,
So if judging his character, which is super duper conservative,
mm.
but yet he still have $1 million in stocks, right? Which means he has certain experiences in stock investing, right?
Yes.
And perhaps you would if you did not achieve any form of success in stock investing, you won't put $1 million in your stock portfolio, right? Let's say you do it all wrong, lah. Would you
Yeah.
still put $1 million inside? Perhaps not, right?
Mm,
Maybe he is one of those people who has been building
mm,
he has some basic knowledge, or maybe even advanced knowledge, and he has been building his portfolio over time one lah.
mm,
If not, how to get to 1 million? So if he wants to take baby steps, then you can just retain your EPF, and then you're still working anyway, right? So you just take out from your future EPF. Let's say every month you put in, there's like $2,000, 3,000, right? Then you just take out and put in your stocks. Then your portfolio allocation, you somehow can reduce the allocation from 46% EPF, right? And then your stocks only 14, right?
mm,
Try to aim it lah, like stocks become 20%, and then your EPF somehow reduce it to, I don't know, 40% first. From 45 drop to 40, and then the stocks can actually go from 14 to 20% first. Maybe it's a baby step that won't hurt so much lah in
yeah.
terms of psychology.
You can do it gradually over a few years, For John, definitely.
Mm,
You don't have to be like extreme, just move it over there. You can just slowly, like Ian said, increase the other portion as you go.
mm. Next one would be CH Kong. CH Kong would like to know how to increase knowledge in the shortest time possible to turn from diversification to concentration so that people can move from middle class to become rich.
Huh. So you this one you can clone. Clone.
Mm,
Okay, this is the word I heard from some billionaires as well. So he
mm,
said, uh, the fastest way to learn is actually clone other people. So you look at other successful people, how do they get rich, and then you try to clone whatever they've done, right? So I'll tell you, the richest person usually get rich because they create
mm,
something, right? They create businesses, provide certain because their business provide value or products that people really like and solve other people's problem. So they create value out of thin air. So basically, to
mm,
do this is actually from business. That means you form your startup, do good service, and then you grow, and then become rich. So if the other way, because these kind of successful entrepreneurs it's not many, right? Although it's many in absolute form, but as a human population, they are very, very small percentage. Only very, very small, right? Like Malaysia, you look at the listed company, how many? It's less than 1,000. But how many businesses out there? A lot, right? So, but all the things that everybody can do in this capitalism world is that you find these people who can be successful, and then you tag along. So how to do this?
Mm.
You become investor, you buy the shares, you tag along with them. So when they make the money, they actually take you on the ride. That means they are running the train engine, and then you just bought the ticket and get on the train.
Mm.
So the key here is how do you identify these people, and then how do you identify these businesses are good. So you also take experience, right? And you have to learn accounting knowledge and all those. So
Mm.
how do you actually get up this knowledge? You through
Mm.
reading. Reading take quite a long time because you need to read unless you're a fast reader. And then
Mm.
courses will help you lah. Courses, at least people who have done it, they can tell you the shortcut lah.
Mm.
Hmm. So we are in this business. Basically, we try to get people who know how to do that, and we put up courses so that you can learn at a faster pace.
Mm.
Did I
Okay,
answer the
question by
question?
Yeah. Question by Walter Ligadu. Say, at 50 years old, which is more important, cash flow or capital appreciation or both?
It doesn't matter. As long as your rate of return is good, right? It actually doesn't matter whether it come in cash flow from or it comes in capital appreciation, because whenever you need something, you can always liquidate your capital appreciation. You can liquidate it. Like for example, you buy a stock and you have 1,000 unit, and then the stock double, and then you need some money to spend. The stock doesn't give you dividend. It doesn't mean no cash flow. You can create your cash flow manually by just selling a few shares, right? That's it. So simple. So for example, you buy Berkshire Hathaway. When they first started, it was $16, I think, right? Not mistaken. $16 when Warren Buffett acquired the stocks. And then now the stock is what, 700,000, is it, Ian?
Mm.
So $16 becomes 700,000. And then there's no dividend. You don't get any cash flow from owning this stock. But it's $16 becomes $700,000. So when you need money, now you're asking me, okay, Walter, now I need money. I need to spend that 700,000, but I don't want to spend 700,000. I just want to spend 50,000.
Mm.
So does it mean I have to sell the one the one stock which is 700,000? So you don't have to do that. Even like Berkshire Hathaway, you can actually convert to B share. B share, what is 1,500 unit of the A share? So you convert that,
Mm.
and then you just sell the portion that you need to spend, 50,000. That's it. Then you create your cash flow. So dividend or capital appreciation, whatever the form of return, it actually doesn't matter because you can always manually create your own cash flow.
Mm.
I think I answered your question, right?
Mm. Actually, a food for thought. You can actually balance, like John's case, he can actually balance both because he has too much in EPF, so much. All right. So EPF, I guess, it's actually more cash flow based return. All right. Or you can say capital gain.
When you cannot withdraw,
Uh,
it is capital gain. When you can withdraw,
uh
is cash flow.
so it's actually like anyway, it's dividends. Dividends, let's just call it cash flow. All
Uh,
right. And this cash flow he can actually withdraw anytime because
over a million.
he has exceeded the minimum requirement.
Yes.
So it's cash flow. So the thing is that perhaps just an idea is that if you go through his spreadsheet, let's say he is spending how much? 15,000.
17,000 a month.
17,000 a month.
Yeah.
Okay let's just make it 20 lah.
Mm.
All right, just make it 20,000 a month. And then times 12, that would be like 240 lah. So you just take 240 divide by the 0.55 or 0.055 because it's 5.55% return, right? Then you will have a sizable amount of EPF. So if he's so conservative and he just want to make sure that his EPF can cover his day-to-day expenses, right? Then he can keep the EPF, keep that X amount of EPF just for his living expenses. Then as for the rest of his assets or the rest of the EPF, he can actually take it and somehow build his investment skill and invest better lah. So even if he somehow didn't make it, his EPF will be his parachute lah. His living expenses won't be affected lah. Would that be a way?
He can arrange whatever he wants,
Mm,
right? And I think the conclusion is that it really doesn't matter whether it's a cash flow or dividend or capital growth, unless it's in
mm,
property. Property, then you have to sell the whole property to realize the money, right?
mm,
Because the capital gain you cannot capitalize on it unless you refinance or you sell the property. Then that would be a little bit difficult. So if you're a property investor, you only invest in properties, then cash flow is very important just to keep you
mm,
liquid, right? Just to keep your oxygen coming.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay, another insight. Kennedy Buddha. John and spouse are doing very well in their work, in their business, earning good income. His suggestion, spend some on leisure. Okay, spend some on leisure. Need to optimize capital allocation for higher passive income. Or should he find a financial advisor or fund manager? That's Kennedy Buddha.
Yes. Very good suggestion as well. So if you cannot invest on your own, you can always engage because like John and her spouse maybe still very actively working, so you cannot like have a lot of time doing research on stocks, right? So you can get into services like the newsletter that give you investment cases or 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 like we have the courses of like GrowthWalk, StockWise, all those can help. Or you can just directly engage fund manager just to invest for you. 250,000, 500,000. Usually it's like in the six figures lah, if you want to engage one. Find one that
Mm,
is but the problem is finding fund manager, you also have to be a good investor yourself so that you can differentiate who are the good fund managers.
yeah.
If not, you'll engage the wrong person. Some people got scammed.
Mm,
Oh, on WhatsApp group lah, what investment group lah, or some advertisement put up on Facebook, which is fake lah. Sometimes they even use my pictures, like a lot of it, and then they lure you in and then say they can invest for you, and then basically just scam. But
mm,
if you have investment knowledge, actually it prevent you from doing all those mistakes as well.
mm. Okay lah. I guess spend some on leisure can expound a bit also lah because he's living a very frugal life.
Mm.
But so the leisure part, how much did John and his family spend on travels and leisure?
Not much,
Like
not much. I don't see an item there like vacation. I didn't see any vacation.
his son is already
nine
his son
years
is nine
old.
years old, right?
Yeah. So probably
Okay, so
you
this
should
one,
relax a bit lah. I mean, you save 30% is good enough lah. Save 60% is a little extreme. So
okay,
uh yeah, what do you want to
yeah.
say, Ian?
Oh no, I just want to diverge a bit lah
Mm.
because I guess Casey, you have been bringing your kids around lah. All right,
Yeah,
he has
yeah.
been he has the luxury of you bringing him experiencing life lah. Like he's not confined. Let's say he's starting off in KL, right? Then he's not
Mm,
like confined in KL
mm,
and knowing the things in KL alone lah. But because you
yeah,
brought him around and you brought him extensively around, like
yeah.
to Japan, to China, to Taiwan, to America, to mana-mana lah. Okay, I'm in a way also a product of that lah. I
Mm.
guess I do not know whether that counts as a investment, but maybe your kid will be, if some of the money is allocated towards that lah. It's not so much about fun travel. Of course, traveling is fun, but it's an investment to
Yeah.
broaden your kids' vision lor, around the world lah. Is that worth it, Casey, or how do you see it?
I see traveling as experience. So experience, and then because you get to see the world, you are not limited to the local view, which is like kata bawah tempurung. Sometimes you don't see the world, you don't know what is happening outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, uh, if you don't go overseas, you don't appreciate that Malaysia foods are so cheap.
Mm.
When you start traveling more, then you will see that Malaysia food is very, very cheap.
Mm.
Right. But although sometimes every time I go back, everyone complain Malaysia food very expensive. So I will say, okay, oh my God, Malaysia food is the cheapest.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there are people who there's one guy in I think in Germany or something. He cycled all over the world. And then at the time
Mm-hmm.
when he got to Thailand, he never realized that there are so much cheap street food. So because when he is traveling, he cycle on his bike, he got no money, so he want to save. He always cook. He always go to grocery, buy stuff and cook and
Mm-hmm.
just camping somewhere, right? But when he got to Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
he said, "Oh, I don't want to cook anymore." He said, "The street food is more affordable than I cook it myself, and it's so tasty." So I
Mm.
think traveling will bring you this kind of like world view lah, which is good to have. But I would not say that it's generally traveling is good for everybody.
Mm.
We cannot just put a blanket saying that this is a general statement. Is it money
Mm.
well spent? It is for me, but
Mm.
maybe not for everybody.
I see, I see. Oh, just one small add-on, because his kid
Mm.
is 9 years old, right?
Uh, yeah.
And then you say 9 years time, the kid will be like 18 years old, right?
Mm.
Oh, time for college already. So
Yes.
would this be so at the age, so I'm looking at the age of 42, 43, 9 years old, with the amount of wealth that he has right now, would these 10 years be precious for them to actually build memories because the
Yes.
parents are physically fit and the kids are starting to understand things, right?
Yep.
He's standard three, right? He
Yep.
can communicate, it's time to make the world his classroom. Although I do not know whether that will be the right classroom lah, but so it's not so much about money. It's about, I guess I have diverged a bit towards like how do you is because right now it seems that his focus, the whole focus is that how do you optimize your financial life, right?
Mm.
But there are also other aspects to what the money can be used on, right? To enrich your life,
Yes.
right?
Definitely, definitely. Because it's just not just when you're spending time and create memories with your loved one, right? Especially like your kids, because they will grow up and then they will leave the family. Soon you'll be an empty nester. So another 10 years when you're 50 years old, John, your son will leave you, so you'll be an empty nester. So these are the time you want to treasure together and then see him grow. I think uh not just spending money on him, it's
Mm,
also spending more time with him, which is also, I mean, if your work is stressful and you hardly find time, I think that is also good that you strike a balance on this aspect.
mm. Yeah. Before the next question, I just want to attest lah. Like Casey is memang one guy lah. All right. He really
Mhm.
prioritizes make good use lah of
Yes.
his golden years with his son building relationship, doing stuff together. I don't think these are things that money can buy back one lah. So it's
Definitely.
precious to him lah. So have to see which of this stuff is actually really meaningful. Have
Yeah.
to think through.
Yes.
Max Tan would like to know, would like to suggest that market crashes, can he withdraw EPF to invest in undervalued stocks? Your opinion?
I will do that. For me, if I were John, I would do that. Yes.
Hmm. Adeline Su, under Manulife Universal Life Investment, which is based on S&P 500 and for legacy and retirement purpose. The question is this a good alternative investment?
For insurance product, right, generally you must understand that if you invest in policies that give you the best benefit, that means commission will be the least. When you get the max benefit, right, return good, coverage also not bad, insurance cost very minimum, then that means someone have to pay for that. So who pay is actually the agent who pay for that. So agent commission will be very, very little bit kacang putih only. So those kind of
Mm,
policy, I'll tell you, insurance agent, they don't get salary. So for insurance agent who want to build a career, they will not sell these policies. Okay, they will not sell these kind of policies. So your policy specific name, you name it, I really don't know because I didn't study it. So if you want me to take a look on the policy itself, is this a good wealth accumulation policy? Yeah, you can send the details to me. I can take a look.
mm,
But generally speaking, insurance policy is not for wealth accumulation. It is
mm,
usually people buy 99% of the policy out there where agents sell to you is all for protection. You have to treat it for
mm,
protection. So if you pay high premium and then you get low protection, that means you're buying those saving plan, and usually those plan also will not give you very, very good return.
mm. Casey, I believe that for John, he will
Mm.
eventually hit 10 million in assets.
Yeah.
So I just want to pick your brain a bit on, if assuming that he has a total asset of 10 million,
Mm.
so your ideal allocation, asset allocation,
From
how will it look like for John?
for John, right? Uh, no, actually people depends on people preference, lah, right? So, for me, knowing what I know right now,
Mhm,
right, I'll probably be more aggressive when I buy properties when I was young.
mhm,
So a lot of comments about property as well. You say property cannot make money. Actually, property can make money because property return, if you look at 6-7%, you are not using your own money to buy. That's the thing. You borrow money to buy.
mhm,
So when I was young, if I can borrow more money, uh, I will buy to the max,
mm,
like leverage lah. And then of course you have to be buying the right property lah. Don't buy the property that cannot rent out. No rental market. Then you'll be suffering ah. One or two property will hit you gao gao ah. That one. Okay. So but that was young. Then now I'm old already. I don't like property much already because all properties eventually become old. So the property I bought 10 years ago, now it become old property. Then old property, you need upkeep, right? When tenants change, you need to redo the property. So a lot of money actually you pour it back just to upkeep the property. So
mhm,
if you are buying the wrong property, then the property don't appreciate faster than the inflation rate. Then
mm,
that kind of capital expenditure is actually kind of burn also lah. Right? Okay, right? Well, all your renovation, all this will get old. So for me, like Ian is asking, what is the ideal ideal portfolio? I would say for me now, I like businesses. Because when you're buying a good businesses, it just keep growing. They reinvent themselves, become bigger company. Uh, for example, uh, talk about Google. They start as search, right? Not making any money until they sell ads, right? And then and then later they reinvent. Oh, they bought up YouTube. Now they have YouTube. And then now they have the cloud services. And then now they're investing in AI. So good businesses keep growing and reinvent themselves. And During that process, you don't have to do anything as an investor. You don't have to pour money back into the business. And you have people, smart people decide, do all the decision for you, business-wise. So for me, when I have, not to say I will invest in just a diverse, good companies in the world. That's it. Maybe 10 to 20 stocks.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I will do. No, that's what I'm doing actually. Okay.
10 to 20 stocks. So
Yeah.
is it like 100% stocks? Is that the allocation for
Yeah,
you?
I have about like 10 properties, so I'll slowly get rid of them. Yeah, I'll sell one by one.
Mm,
Probably just leave some commercial properties that I don't need to upkeep and tenants are good.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Kennedy Buddha would like to know, is there such a thing as ideal asset allocation in accordance to age? 30 years old is how your asset allocation looks like. 50 years old, another viewpoint, and then
Uh,
70 years, another view.
all this guideline, right, is for the layman, for the middle-aged people, for people who don't know what to do, for people who want diversification. Then you listen to this, right? So if you're on my class, yeah, like right now, you're on our webinar, we want you to do better,
Mhm.
right? We want you to do better. So the asset allocation guideline, it actually doesn't matter. When you know what you do best, you will keep doing the best thing,
Mm.
right? If imagine if Buffett listened to all these craps, like he would say it craps, that means he have to sell his shares, he have to sell his stocks. He's getting to 100 years old. He should
Mhm.
sell his stock, just turn into cash.
Mm.
No, he should be doing that at age 40. Not like now, it's like 90 over. So if
Mm.
he had done that, do you think there's a Warren Buffett here? Do you think there's a billionaire here? No, there will be no Warren Buffett.
Mm.
Okay? So it doesn't work. It only works for people who want diversification, who don't know what to do with their money. Then you listen to that. Okay? If you know what to do, which I advocate, you have to know what to do with your money. Do what is best with it. Then you will end up rich. Do you want to be rich or you just want to be normal? Financial independence, maybe middle class. If that's your case, then you follow those things. Yeah. If you want to be
Mm.
better, then I will advocate move yourself toward that concentration and know what you do with your money and you get rich.
Okay, Ben C. Ben C would like to know how much passive income and capital does he need to retire now, assuming that he can live up to 80 years old. And also he's asking for two age lah. One is 50, one is 80. But the thing is that there are many financial planners who actually say, oh, you should plan like 30, 40, 50 years ahead of your life. Your thoughts on that?
So we can come back to the here. So it's the case about John, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, we can come back here and then we can actually easily work out the numbers if you know value of money. So now look at his net worth 5.3 million, and then we know the return rate is, let's say we
Mm-hmm.
move it back, which is 6.64%.
Mm-hmm.
So what we can do is we can actually estimate. So the PV, present value, is this, which is this one, net worth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Future value, ngam finish, so it's zero, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the MPER, which is the period of time, is actually from his 42 years old to 80. So it's equal to 80 minus 42. So 38 years in spending money, right? If he's going to retire right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then uh, the return, rate of return, which is this, 5%, 6.64%. But this is also not so accurate. Oh, I actually can. Because you have to still do the inflation adjusted. So just keep things simple. Just keep things simple. So we can actually calculate here because with this information, you kind of like know that if he spent PMT, we can use PMT formula. PMT equals to the rate here, 6.64%. Period is 38 years. Present value is 5 million total net worth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then future value is 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, then we can see that he can spend 368,000 a year. So he stopped working. Now he stopped working. He spent 368,000 a year. Then until age 80, finish everything.
Hey, just curious. If let's
Uh,
say the inflation rate is
mm,
equivalent to his return on net worth, which is 6.64.
yeah,
So which means the adjusted return is 0.
yeah, 0.
So how much is his annual expenditure in order for him to uh hit in order to like no, I just changed the rate from 6.64 to 0. Just want to see the amount that he spent. Oh.
This is inflation adjusted lah. That means this year you spend 133,000 because of inflation then your money got no return So that means
Mm-hmm.
you next year you have to spend more. You are spending 133,000 plus another
Mm-hmm.
6%, correct? So they cancel off each
Ah,
other. So that means the next year he have to spend, he was forced to spend. Forced because of inflation. Because the kids are education getting more expensive, or food more expensive, petrol more expensive, then he have to
mm,
spend 6% more.
mm.
133 plus another 6%, and then plus another 6% a year later, and then a year later. So this is how it works, the numbers.
And still he can tahan 38 years.
Still can tahan 38 years, yes. Finish.
I see, I see.
Yes.
Mm. Okay, good, good. Now let's take a look at some comments in the chat box. Just a few.
Yep.
Uh, so Esther wants to know properties rate of return is lower. It is an additional dollar return that otherwise wouldn't be available because of limited own capital, hence need to borrow. Correct me if I'm wrong, why people go into properties?
Property investment only profitable because of the leverage. If you cannot borrow money to invest in property, I will say just save the trouble, please. Just
Mm,
imagine you're getting, let's say, 4-5% yield. All right.
mm,
And then your property will get old. You have to
mm,
repair. No? 10 years,
mm,
20 years, you definitely have to repaint everything. Those you have to pour money back. So for 4
mm,
5%, and then you need to deal with a lot of things. The tenants, and then you have losses on, like, if you get agent to market your property, 12 months rental, you only get 11 months. And then when you change tenant, you'll be probably vacant for another 6 months. So
mm,
the cash flow also not like guarantee, right? So,
mm,
but people still invest because of leverage, because you can buy that asset without using your own money.
mm,
That's how it makes it profitable. That means your
mm,
cash layout, maybe 10% of the property, 1 million property, you just come up with 100,000, 150,000, then you can buy a 1 million asset. Then you borrow the rest, that become a leverage. So your total return of that 150,000 actually is double digit over the long term.
mm. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, so now it's about 12 p.m. already.
Ooh,
Time for me to
ooh.
pick a lucky winner.
Okay.
So, okay, so guys, type in the chat box, because there's so many questions being asked already. I will just reserve the lucky winner to one who has not received or read the copy, Money Smart. So if you are one of those people who never read Money Smart before, type in the chat box. The first one to type in Money Smart will get a free copy of the book Money Smart, authored by Casey. Okay. So looks like we have our lucky winner, who is Kian Lun. So Kian Lun is the
Can
first person to type in Money Smart. And Casey,
yeah.
instructions to get the copy of Money Smart.
Yes, congratulations, Ken Lun. Also, Ken Lun asked a lot of questions as well, right? Very good question.
Mhm.
And Ken Lun, congratulations. So I want to give you this copy of the book. Just send an email to me at support@kclau.com.
Mhm.
Support@kclau.com. I need three information: your name, your mobile number. Mobile number is for the courier service, right? When they ship the book to you, they sometimes they call you when they cannot reach you. And then the third one is your shipping address. So just three information. Then I'll order the book from my publisher and we will send it to you.
Mm.
Congratulations,
Fantastic.
Kenlun.
All right. So I guess the other questions are okay lah. So we'll keep it for other times because it's very wide and extensive. I guess we can actually have many rounds of this kind of discussions in our future webinars.
Mm.
So Casey, what are your biggest takeaways since you're the one who study all this, prepare all the materials for today, right? What's your biggest takeaway for our audience when it comes to assessing this case study?
Like John, right? I would say the conclusion is that you, if you can do something like John, that means you work hard on your work, discipline, work hard, work smart, then you get a good income. Then once you get a good income, and then you can save a lot of it. Like he is
Mhm.
very extreme. He can save 60%, you see. So if you can do that, you will not you will be doing well. You will be doing okay. Right? That means you will have no problem retiring. You will have most of the money that you need for your financial goals. Right? You'll be okay. You'll be doing fine. And for John, case here is that to get to the next level where you want to have more money to spend and you can relax a lot, also never mind. Then that is the thing that you can work on. Right? Become a better investor, become better capital allocator. That means you maximize your current asset. And that means you can retire even better. Put another
Mm.
zero to your net worth, become 50 million. Then you don't have to think twice when you buy your business class ticket or you go on a vacation or you want to send your kids to US to study. Like my son costing me 80,000 US dollar a year, right? For 4 years, only degree.
Oh.
That's crazy, right? So I was like thinking, okay, how blessed we are to be able to provide him with this opportunity. Because last time it is my dream to go overseas study, but we don't have the money. Uh, For me, it's like, and then I went to his school. It's like my dream school. They It's a liberal arts school, a small campus, and then they have a auditorium, and then they have a music department. And then I look at the practice room. I got a tour inside the practice room. There are probably a dozen practice room, and then four, five of them got two grand pianos put into the same room. Grand pianos. I was like, whoa, this is like my dream school. Okay. And then they got to study music as well. I was like, wow, how good. Although it's not like the major in music. So yes, if John, you want to provide the best for your children, I think this is also something we work on, right? Hmm. Then
Mm.
go to the next level, which I hope to see you achieving that as well. Okay. All the best to you, John. And for
Right.
for the audience here, thanks for being here. I think we all can learn from John, right? We all can learn from John.
Mm.
Make good money, save hard, and then you go to the next level.
Fantastic. So are we repeating the case study in Mandarin next week?
Yes, yes, we are gonna do a same content in Mandarin. If you want to hear this session again, and then we can answer more questions that is not answered today in Mandarin, then you can come next week, same time.
Next week, same time. Okay. So with that, let's go for lunch. Thank you so much for staying back. It's almost a 2-hour session. Thank you so much, John, for your sharing, and thank you so much, Casey, for your presentation of your case studies. All
Thank
right.
you. Bye
So see you next
bye.
week.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.